Oh my god! I can't believe this! Yo, I cannot believe this! It's going off and we're back again! It's Muse, by the way.
Sounds, this predicament is quite bemusing.
I would ask how you've been doing, but...
Like the Vince Staples album, there's a lot going on.
Oh, I thought you were going to say there's a fish.
What?
Something about a fish.
A fish theory or something?
Mm-hmm, but that's just a theory. A fish theory. Did you hear he retired, by the way?
Yeah, because, like, YouTube is working him to the fucking bone. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I just want to see my family.
That's so sad.
I
just want a
sort of,
life,
like,
please.
sympathy for the poor man sort of way. Like, look, I'm not going to say I loved all the guy's content, but, like, you know, still deserves to, like, see his kids. He still deserves to remember what his kids' faces look like, you know?
He's going to have that fucking speech, like, 10 years from now, like, oh, yeah, I was talking about speculations of the new Metroid, and, oh, did you hear this thing about... I don't know, fucking Prince of Persia, but I missed my kid's graduation.
Oh, he's the new age version of the internet dad. He's the fucking liar. He's the fucking, you know, dad who's working too hard. He's the Santa Claus, you know, the magical realism 90s movie. You know, something's gonna happen to him where his internet channel is gonna turn into a sentient person or something like that, and he has to, like, you know, realize that his family loves him or something, you know?
Matt Pat's gonna have to get the Turbo Man.
Oh, exactly.
For his kid on Christmas. That's my cookie. Put the cookie down. You remember that. Anyway, RC, before we got started recording, I was telling you.
Oh, yeah.
At first we were talking about A$AP Rocky and how great he is, but I don't need to tell y'all that. Y'all fucking know that.
Yeah, redundancy.
Yeah, that's fucking preaching to the choir. And then you started talking about Ghostface Killah and how they're kind of in the same upper echelon, and I'm not going to argue that fact. But then I said that I recently picked up a Ghostface Killah album on an eBay store where I like to frequent it because they got deals going on where you can pretty much get albums for like $2, and they got some pretty good shit popping up there every so often. And I picked up a copy of Bulletproof Wallets from 2001. And I'll admit, straight up, that I have not listened to this album yet. I just bought it completely blind, so to speak. Or deaf, I guess. I don't know. And you said that there's a song produced by The Alchemist, I believe, that is kind of become infamous. And you wanted to leave it at that.
But then we got to talking, and I was like, you know what? I think she needs to hear it. I think, doesn't she, folks? Shouldn't she hear The Forest? Shouldn't she be allowed to...
The Forest?
Get that live reaction? That's right. I was like, you know what? Let's let her hear it.
Okay. I appreciate that. Let's see.
Because if that title isn't jumping out at you, then I'm like, oh, okay, you need to hear this then.
Oh yeah, it's not. Okay.
Yeah,
let's see here.
Give it a listen. Give it a hear.
What the fuck? All right. That's a fun one. I never heard that.
I love it.
Like at one point, he just starts listing off cartoon names.
Courageous Cat, Josie and the Pussycats.
Yeah.
I love it. It's like MF Doom to the next level. As years go on, it's one of those. You know when everyone seems to have their, you know, heads coming up out of the collective musical muck and being like, yeah, everyone heard that weird song, right? Like in hip hop, you know what I'm saying? In a certain genre, it's like, yeah, we all heard that, right? That was Ghostface Killah really did that, and that beat was fucking flames, though, right? Like what was that? How was that not a single?
That was the main thing I reacted to is the fucking beat. I was just like, ooh.
Yeah, like. It starts off with a fucking the sort of KRS-One on Boogie Down Productions will always get paid, like that level of singing of the I see bugs that are green, red roses too, I see the blondes, and then the like those, oh my god, those flavorful horns.
Now, as far as the reviews this week, the fucking goats have returned in the way of Dr. Goatman and Animal King. I know Nappy Roots is going to be the main event. As a little teaser, can I ask you a question up front?
Yeah, sure.
Did Animal King come through?
Okay, so...
Oh, no.
Fucking-lutely.
Okay.
That's first of all. But second of all, I had a weird... Yeah, speaking of, like, the, mid-2000s and, like, not having enough knowledge, so you kind of, like, aren't sure what band is whom. So...
Uh-huh.
Did you have the same thing I did, where you were like, oh, word, Nappy Roots. Those them Southern boys with the super Southern drawls that, they did that, what is it? So what? So what? That's them, right? Yeah, that's them boys. I was like, oh, no, sorry, that's Field Mob. Oh, it must have been that other one. It must have been the one, not so what. It was the cow jumped over the moon. You acting like a bugaboo. Sick of being lonely. Well, my words go out with his homie. That's gotta be the one. I messed up. I'm sorry. I confused the one for the other. Right? That's also Field Mob.
First off, we've got Nomeansno and the album Wrong! Anyway, No and Wrong. This was requested by...
speaking of consent, yes.
It was requested by Dr. Goatman. Shouldn't be a surprise. Right. Very reminiscent of, I think, another Dr. Goatman request, the Big Black album.
That's right. Remember that? Yeah.
Some late 80s. This is 89, which fucking blew my mind. I thought this was way more recent than that.
Oh, right. I was just listening to this and being like, wait, 80? Holy shit, what the fuck? Like, when you have that moment of like, this feels like late 90s, what rock is just what you think rock sounds like,
Everyone was so used to goddamn Guns N' Roses being the fucking shit that all this way more interesting shit was happening right off screen that, like, if you knew, nuts. You knew.
It's nuts.
Yeah, yeah.
It was the same moment I had with Where Is My Mind by the Pixies, where I was like, that was 1989? What? Vasandy fucking? Like, are you sure?
That's the
sure
thing,
that didn't
man.
come out when Fight Club dropped? Like,
when you realize that the Pixies and Nirvana were actually late 80s, like, what
crazy.
The fuck?
It is like, oh yeah, time isn't compartmentalized. It was just like, oh yeah, then this started happening, and then they were there, so they started doing stuff.
It's really incredible. It's some of that stuff that, like, you just know that it's going to be a timeless thing. Like, Nirvana still gets fucking played on the radio in 2024 like it just came out yesterday.
Right.
It's just one of those things. But kind of falling on the wayside are Nomeansno. I was honestly... I had to look them up.
Never heard of this group. Yeah.
Neither did I. Because the thing about Big Black is that the main dude went on to have, like, a whole bunch of different side projects that did essentially the same thing, but, just a little different. Maybe, like, just, like, different band members wanted to do different things, write different songs. So at first I was like, is this another side project? But I was like, no, this is a Canadian group. I was like, oh, okay. And... yeah, like, the album that we're listening to today from 89, one of the members, according to the Wikipedia, this is where I'd found this. One of the band... I'm sorry. Nebula's getting sushi out of the fridge, and our cat thinks it's for her. So no. No, not this time. You got all that tuna juice earlier. That's it. You're good. Okay. That this is, like, their most popular album because... it was in the Nirvana blowing up wake, like, Nirvana has popped onto the scene, they're changing the fucking game. so now everything like it is like everyone's buying up everyone like it because they can't get enough of that sound. This is different though. Like, Nirvana's great. I'm not gonna throw any shade on Nirvana, but this has got a jazzy edge to it. This has got way more of a, I don't want to say rough edge because I think Nirvana was more fuzzy with it, but this is just unhinged. Like,
it's its own version of jagged. Like,
yeah. So jagged, so rough around the edges. I fucking really, really liked this album. Even though I can't really put a finger on what any of the songs are about is the problem.
Yeah, like, okay, so this, as I wrote in some of the notes, it's like, oh, this is that Beavis and Butthead rock, like, the type of shit that you're watching, you know, their music videos for, especially track 2, The Tower. I especially felt those vibes. It starts off crazy with the, have you heard the news? The dead walk. I was like, what's happening?
And it's just got, like, this stabbing bass riff, just like, bow, bow, bow. And the drumming really takes center stage, especially like this quick little drumming on the hi-hat. This like it's like, oh shit! It's so fucking fast. Again, it's that jazz influence. Yeah. And my favorite part of the song that I had to make note of was just that one point where a guy just yells, but it has like that bell curve. It's like, ah! But the tower, like you had mentioned, golly, the fucking voice crack on the tower! The tower!
And, okay, so when I heard this song at first, I thought he was saying the dollar. So I was like, oh, the social commentary, you know? Oh, man is dead, and what has he done but work his whole life for what? The dollar! The dollar!
The all-idy aller. Brainless wonder.
Okay,
this song.
This is where we get a little like, oh, fucking experimental late 80s shit. Okay, you know, now I love, you know, the musicianship that happens, like,
it's so fucking catchy. Oh my god,
weird funky rock shit, but like then at the end, just the like in the middle of it, you hear someone like growling or something. It's like,
yeah, it's just like, and I was like, oh shit, I guess that's the brainless wonder. Here he comes. Yeah. And then just, I need lunch. Feed me now. I need lunch. Where's my break?
Like social commentary.
Maybe not.
The
Who knows,
Charlie
man?
Chaplin character just shiftless and just going to his job, you know, listless or whatever.
I'm not about to expect any deep meaning from any of this. Now, if there is some and I'm just not paying attention to it, you know, feel free to let me know. But I'm just here for the fucking vibe and how catchy the fucking songs are. Tired of Waiting, though, might be one of the more interesting deliveries and lyrics, and just how this fucking song ends is the part I quoted. Because, like, it has this whole big list of, like, I'm tired of waiting in line, I'm tired of waiting for my check, I'm tired of waiting for this to come through.
ADHD anthem.
Yeah, it's like all these things, so impatient. And then at the end, just to summarize all of it, is so fucking sarcastic. He just goes, I got tired of waiting because I found out that there's only a very, very fine line between biding one's time and wasting's one time. You know what I mean? And then there's just this, who, which pops up on a few different songs, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And then he just goes, I got tired of waiting, that's all.
Yeah, but I just love the music stops specifically for that.
Yeah, it's like, I just got tired of waiting, that's all. Like, holy shit. So smart ass, I love that.
Yeah. That's that bleeding into the 90s, you know, energy that we're you know, anticipating.
The who reminded me, do you ever hear the song? Oh god, what's that fucking song called? She's a vegetarian.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Mary Moon.
She's a vegetarian.
Mary Moon. Will I live on the septuagenarian? Well, she loves me so she hates to be alone.
Oh.
She don't eat meat, but she show like the bone.
Whoa!
Hell
yeah.
What is that song? Like, it's this like really nice, you know, moving melody, very melismatic, you know what I'm saying? And then it's just like, oh yeah, this new age girl, but you know, she's got her flaws too, but she still likes to take some dick, am I right?
Oh, like the bone. So fucking like, shut up, but it's so fucking catchy.
You can see him humping the air, you know?
Yeah, it's so sleazy. But
And
it
she's
really is
like-
a catchy as fuck song.
I know, and you can tell she's like, you know, she is that intellectual type, but you know, she's got her fun, playful side, and she's just like, oh god, I'm dating fucking Jim Carrey over here, like fucking, just like, you're like doing the face palm, you know what I mean? This is a song I also do back to back with, who's them boys, if you don't love me, I'll kill myself. You know that one?
Okay. The chorus is familiar. I did not recognize it up until that point, but yeah, okay. God damn, this fucking... I miss this so much, dude. You know what one of my favorite fucking albums from this time period is? Goddamn, Gin Blossoms.
Ooh, wherever you go, I'll follow you down.
Oh, God.
I'll follow you down, but not that far. Let's not go
Not
crazy.
that far. Oh, God. Till I hear it from you. Come on. Won't take advice from fools. Fucking found out about you till I hear it from you. Follow you down. Hey, jealousy. These are timeless songs, and they had the big hits, and then I think the lead singer died.
Oh.
They didn't really have like a lot of time to like enjoy the limelight, which sucks.
Right. What the hell? It was like Sublime, Nirvana. Like, what was happening? Why was it specifically lead singers of bands? Like, I feel so bad saying this, but it's like, if it was like the drummers, would it be like, we keep going? Like, what?
See, I mean, that is the problem. Like, it sucks, and you hate to say it, but like, bands can carry on if that's the thing. Like I've never heard a group break up because when like someone who wasn't the lead singer passed away. Like
the vocals are so like specific to what the band's sound is. Yeah.
Yeah, like
after a certain point.
if Kurt wasn't the first one to die out of Nirvana, like they probably wouldn't have become Foo Fighters so quick. You know, like we probably would have been able to carry on for a bit, but you lose that lead singer. That's like the band's identity.
But it is weird that it is the lead singer. Like, is there... Like, are we slowly uncovering some sort of conspiracy? Like, why is it always the lead... Jimi Hendrix, you know, it wasn't the drummer that got... You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? The Doors, wait a minute. Like, the government may come in. You've seen too much.
It's very likely that with being the lead singer comes a good bit of ego and the prestige. So, I mean, all the people we're talking about died from overdoses or suicide. So, it's like, there's, you know, that comes with the fame, unfortunately.
The
Sometimes
pressure.
you lose
you
lose grip, you lose focus on reality, you know? You're thinking, you kind of think you're untouchable. And so maybe, you know, Ray Manzarek, the goddamn keyboard player from The Doors, maybe he wasn't getting as many drugs as Jim Morrison, you know? Maybe he wasn't invited to as many parties.
Talking, you know, yeah, it's not really that big of a deal.
Now, if you ask me, that fucking organ sound, the
that was the fucking band.
adds as much personality to a Doors song, if not more, than Jim Morrison as vocalist. I'll die on that hill.
Yeah, that's the reason why that band stood out.
But you fucking look at Ray Manzarek. He looks like a fucking geek. He was not nearly as attractive as Jim Morrison was.
Who the hell is lugging an organ to every one of these fucking, you know what I'm saying, shows?
That's true. I don't think Ray's bringing the organ to fucking parties either. Like, Jim just needs to bring himself and his poetry book, and you're set. nearly the radio play they should be in 2024, dude. The whole rest of the album, I don't really have a whole lot of notes except for the fact that, like, there's, like, a female vocalist on the End of All Things that adds a nice little charm to it.
Oh, yeah! You would talk about that in a second. Yeah.
Big Dick, that song is fucking insane. I love that one. The goddamn... white man, you only just now starting to sing the blues on Rag and Bones.
White man!
You only just now starting to sing the blues.
Like, what is happening? Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was like, white man, you just starting to get the blues.
It's like, oh shit, alright. It's that fucking George Carlin bit. The House of Blues.
Yeah, some white guy in sunglasses sucking on a harmonica. Talking about his phone. Oh, what happened? Banana Republic ran out of khakis.
You fucking remember it. I can always trust you to know the fucking punchline. Goddamn.
That's right.
What I was gonna say was, it's very likely that with being the lead singer comes a good bit of ego and the prestige. So, I mean, all the people we're talking about died from overdoses or suicide. So, it's like, there's, that comes with the fame, unfortunately.
The
sometimes
pressure.
you lose
you
lose grip, you lose focus on reality, you're thinking you kind of think you're untouchable. And so maybe, Ray Manzarek, the goddamn keyboard player from The Doors, maybe he wasn't getting as many drugs as Jim Morrison, Maybe he wasn't invited to as many parties.
Talking, it's not really that big of a deal.
Now, if you ask me, that fucking organ sound, the
that was the fucking band.
adds as much personality to a Doors song, if not more, than Jim Morrison as a vocalist. I'll die on that hill.
That's the reason why that band stood out.
But you fucking look at Ray Manzarek. He looks like a fucking geek. He was not nearly as attractive as Jim Morrison was.
Who the hell is lugging an organ to every one of these fucking, shows?
That's true. I don't think Ray's bringing the organ to fucking parties either. Like, Jim just needs to bring himself and his poetry book, and you're set. But back to the album.
Yes, stock taking.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to touch on here before we...
There's good use of grumbles. I like that again. That kind of comes up again.
For sure.
I thought this was really funny. There's one part where he goes like, "Are you sick and tired of the same old thing?" And then just a long silence. And then I thought he was saying, "All right." like, this is the part where we were supposed to put in the audience, but I guess we didn't do that, so fucking all right.
Are you ready to laugh? I said, are you ready to laugh? Go away, you awful, awful man. I got a 5, dude.
5 on it.
I want to talk real quick about the End of All Things. The weirdly Christian rock sounding feel of it. Maybe just like that. Not that many rock songs are just like in major keys or something. But like that plus the female voice has just made it sound like, what's happening? Where are we going with this? And then it's like, when you hear the angels sing, this is the end of all things. Like you know what it is? It felt like the, Christian death cult that, a lot of churches really, are, but like snuck underneath, they're like, that's right, when Jesus comes, it's going to make the apocalypse and all the bad people will go to hell and we'll go to hell. You know what I mean? Like, It feels like this is that song, like making it, putting it to bear, like, that's right, everyone, to achieving on the apocalypse. It's like, that's kind of what you're doing,
Yeah.
And then Big Dick, I wanted to like that one, but it felt a little too much like, the goofy, grinning, shades on music that Jim Carrey would listen to, like when he's doing the skit with Chris Kattan and Will Ferrell, like, yeah, big dick, come quick, big dick, come. Like, it's one of those, like, I get it, he's like playing it up, but it's a little too 90s, sounding like Donkey Kong music, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It was just like, oh, baby, come back to my place. And yeah, I'm playing the guy who's jerking. It's just like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? It was a little too Mask doing the you know what I mean? Let me see. Oh, Rags and Bones. That song was so fucking dope. That was so goddamn good. And then any old Rags Bones, any old Rags Bones. That was like some Primus sounding shit with that happened.
Yeah.
It was so goddamn good. But yeah, overall, I give it a 3.5 out of 5. You know.
Oh, jeez, wow.
I know it feels a little lower, but because I was like having the moment of like, wait, like, am I really able to like, okay, Brainless Wonder is fun, but like, you know, is that really like a, you know what I mean, track I'm going back to? Stock Taking, let me see, Big Dick, Two Lips to, like, there were 1 or 2 more songs that I was, you know, remembering as I looked back that was kind of like, yeah, did I really, like, you know what I'm saying? Did that one really hit as hard for me, you know? But overall, it's certainly a unique, like, it's just unlike any fucking thing else. But, you know, if I'm gonna get down to the nitty gritty, you know, getting past the novelty factor, you know, then it's like, all right, now let's talk about, you know what I'm saying, whether or not this is really hitting. And like, a lot of it certainly does, but just as an overall project, there were just more tracks than I was expecting that were kind of like, just not really, like, not feeling as distinctive from one track to the next. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I had to give it a 5 myself. I was pretty blown away by it. But yeah, I do agree that it almost borderlines on too much for me. Like, it's very overbearing. So maybe listen to it. I mean, it's only a half hour, but like, it's very in your fucking face. So if you listen to it nonstop, it's like, it is a barrage. So maybe break it up.
It feels like proto System of a Down, honestly, and I feel like I say that a lot, but it's honestly like high praise for me to give to a group because they're so weird and distinct and going for something. But like, whereas on a System of a Down album, I really do feel like each individual track is so fucking different. Like, you really are not mistaking them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Like, the next track is booga 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 booga, and then the next track is now it's somber, lambs on the soldier side. You know what I mean? Like,
From there, we go to Nappy Roots with Watermelon, Chicken, and Grits. I don't like saying the name of the group. Can I just say that?
I thought you were gonna say I don't like saying the name of the album. Like,
I mean, the album's fine, but you know, Don Imus didn't get fired for saying Watermelon, Chicken, and Grits. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he specifically said headed hose. That was what that suffix was leading into.
You know, you're right. You know, before we go on here, I recently watched a video of the day that VH1 launched as a channel. And one of the things they aired was like a breakdown of their VJs. Don Imus was one of them.
What in the fuck?
Like, on MTV, I don't know if they were like established names or what, but they seemed like younger, kind of hip with it people. You go over to VH1. VH1 already had a reputation of like MTV was cool and edgy, and they had like the rock bands and the up and coming shit. When VH1 was like almost like soft rock, kind of.
You know, I totally get that. Don Imus.
You got Bowser from Sha Na Na, if anyone remembers Sha Na Na.
I thought you were about to say fucking, they got Bowser from Mario. Like, are we fucking serious right now?
It was a fucking 50s greaser revival band that came out in the 60s and 70s. It was like this corny...
What is happening? And this is the 80s?
Picture the T-Birds from Grease and this dick up front. Yeah, he was going by his real name, like
roof.
John Bousman or some shit. Then you got Scott Shannon, who is like the DJ who pretty much invented the morning zoo crew format.
Oh, wow.
Of like we got a bunch of wacky guys in here doing wacky things. Like he basically started that. So it's like, okay, you went specifically for like radio disc jockeys, and MTV went for like just like relatable people. Like, I don't know who would want to turn to VH1 to hear Don Imus backsell a Paula Abdul video or some shit. Like, he doesn't seem like he wants to be there. He's got a shit attitude.
That's ridiculous. He's like, this is weird. I'm okay with my blazing white fucking black guys. Why does she have to take him to the NBA game? Oh, wait, no, that wasn't him. That was a different guy. Yeah, that was a different guy, wasn't it?
I had no idea.
Oh, my God,
wait.
so many different old guy controversies. Wait.
Oh, yeah, who the fuck are you thinking of? That was, Damn, who the fuck was that?
Yeah, because Don Imus was some sort of, he was a, shit talker, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was like a shock jock guy, yeah.
Donald Sterling, that's what it is.
Donald Sterling! Oh! Yeah, okay.
I was thinking like, why the fuck did they get a basketball?
I forgot all about that fucking guy. Okay. That's right. American attorney and businessman and owner of the LA Clippers. Okay.
No, but Don Imus makes 14% more sense.
Yeah, honestly, not a whole hell of a lot more. But anyway, going back to this. This was like 2002.
Oh yeah. Nappy Roots. Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah, it's getting back to it. Yeah, you can totally say Nappy Roots. I think it's all about being proud of the unkemptness. You know what I'm saying? I think that's that's what they're going for here. So they're leading into it.
I see.
And they certainly do have a lot of songs about it. So this is kind of like the post-Outcast. All right, the Goody mobs are coming up, the field mobs, a lot of mobs coming up, crime mob a little later.
Lynch mob.
Yeah, oh my God. But I guess that was earlier. They were on the West Coast, but point being, a whole lot of Southern shit was popping off, and in groups especially. And this was one of those groups, and I feel like it's so interesting. Like, we had the Yin Yang Twins and the Lil Johns and the East Side Boys, but we don't talk about, like, the heart and soul groups like this that were there, the Cunning Linguists, you know what I'm saying? The guys like that were really holding it down lyrically and, like, actually trying to make, some real atmospheric shit. Like, man, motherfucker, this album is, like, good, okay?
It is good.
Tells you shit. Like, it really threw me off, and just how consistent the sound is. Where I was just like,
yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, like we're going one track to the next, and we're like, this still sounds like we're, rolling through those swampy, you know what I'm saying, Kentucky backwoods, like it consistently really has that sound. And lyrically, I wouldn't say they're like, bussing and hitting you with like hyper lyrical shit, but like they're always saying something interesting, and they have very like flavorful, like impactful voices when they say the things that they're saying. So it's kind of like, you're kind of along for the ride for most of it, honestly.
That's what makes them more interesting to me than most other like collectives, is that so many of them have very varied voices. Like, this dude sounds extremely different than this guy. Like, I thought, who was it? There's one dude, Skinny DeVille, who sounds a lot like Andre 3000.
Yes.
That was the vibe I was
getting.
getting.
It's such a like, oh, they're so trying to do that, but I don't hate it, honestly. Like, I mean, since Outkast doesn't want to make any more fucking music.
And then there's this dude, R Prophet, who I wrote down sounds like the holla 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 guy that fucking Prim samples.
Holla 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 holla. Every rap group's gotta have the super high voice guy with like. When you listen to, West Side Connection, Ice Cube's rap group.
Oh, yeah.
The Mac 10, I'm standing like the Heisman. Like, there's always got to be that one guy who's like, listen up in a Monday. Like, the guy with the higher voice. You always got to have that guy.
Yeah, I like how, like, most of the songs have, like, everyone on them. So,
yeah.
A lot of songs here, you get, like, a pretty good selection of like pretty short verses, but everyone is on display. It's not like that fucking D12 album we just listened to.
But you know what I was thinking of? Remember that? Hey, in the middle of the barn. Remember that album? album that
God.
we listened to. So yeah, like, how do you feel about that album versus this? Because isn't that weird? Like, that felt like a put on. You know, like that felt like like a
Who was
costume.
that?
I can't even remember. It was
See, that's the problem. I can't even remember what the name of that group was.
But yeah, there was that era of like, are we doing this country rap thing? A little bit, I guess not. You know?
Oh, that was crucial conflict, by the way.
Because I remember like Bone Thugs and Harmony also did like a little country song. You know you gotta count your money. You know, like, so I was like, hey, are we trying to mix it up? Let's see. But yeah, what was it? I can't. But it was the Hey song. And it just kind of felt like they were like really putting it on. And with this, it feels a lot more natural where like stuff will come up where it just feels like, where's other boys? Of course they're going to mention this. Now it does feel like they mention it a little more often than, like they do kind of bring it up a couple of times where I'll like crisscross and confuse songs. Because there's like a couple of songs where they mention something about, not the farmer in the Dell. That actually only comes up once, surprisingly. But there was Jimmy cracking corn. There's like 3 or 4 tracks where Jimmy cracks corn all over this album. And there's no song called Jimmy Crack Corn. And I kept like, when I listened to it just like the first time, just listening to it, and I was like, going back through the track listing, I was like, oh wait, no, there is no song called Jimmy. Was that like a previous single or something? Like, why do they keep saying it? Like,
so they got to do the throwback references too. Yeah,
and then there's a song called Country Boys. But that is not the song in which the lyric goes, there's a country, there's something in the Aw Nah song where he goes like, them country boys with them big wheels and converted cow grills, you know? And so I heard that song and I was like, oh, that's the, wait, no, that Country Boy song is track 6. This Country Boy song is track 4. But here's the thing, even as I'm saying that, like, oh, some of the lyrics repeat, the fucking style of each song is so fucking cool, because as I'm looking, like, the Country Boys track sounds nothing like the later on track, because this one has this fantastic beat with the mandolin and that head buster hook, you know what I'm saying? We just some country boys, country walk, country talk, don't bring it around here unless you know what's jumping. Like, it made me just want to fucking bob my head, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I was fucking feeling it. Oh my fucking God. Like, so much of this album is just that goddamn, you know what I'm saying, grits and country fried steak in a barn, and it's nighttime, and I don't know, it just gave you that fucking feeling from track to track. I could see the, you know, the cows with the flies around them under the, you know, bright moonlight, you know what I'm saying? We're drinking moonshine, you know what I'm saying? Puffing a bong that looks like a pig or something like that, you know?
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's like really fucking living that life. And it gives you that from really from most of the track to tracks where I'm just like, this is just a consistent sound, but in a good way. But the issue becomes, it is 21 fucking tracks long. So it does begin to get a little, I could have sworn we already heard this song, you know? Like, I get that I could have sworn I heard this song, but not in as bad of a way as I got from the previous album, where it's such a consistent sound, because, you know, it's a rock band, like, you know, you really got to be getting creative to have it not be like, this also sounds like a rock song, you know, like, I feel like rap songs, like, they have the ability to, you know, from track to track, have things sound a little bit more varied. There's 3 fucking people, you know, the producer can do whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? This isn't a knock against rock. I'm just saying, like, you know, motherfuckers gotta stand out if you're doing some rock shit, is all I'm saying.
Oh, for sure. And I think there's a lot of strong cuts on this album, but there are definitely... No, I was about to say it's 50-50. It's really not. It's like 75-25 strong cuts to weak cuts, because... and they're almost all on the second half. Like, maybe I was just getting over it. Like, because it is too long. Like, these early 2000s fucking hour-plus albums.
Where they gotta fill up the 80-minute CDs.
Need it, man. Stop. It's a fucking Stankonia, like, 27-track bullshit. Like, you don't need that, man. But, and there's 2 remixes on here, too.
That's right. And, okay, so... Hustler This was I think they were already sampling Outkast on this track. I was like, oh guys,
shit.
don't do that. Like,
Not on the first cut.
Right, like don't immediately make yourself derivative. But those intros, the skits were kind of dumb. What the hell was that?
The skits are bad.
You hate the
Meandering.
skits.
I don't like the skits. You're right.
What the point of this fucking pitched up voice?
Guy. Yeah, Outkast has a guy who's like kind of high voiced on their albums, right? So I guess we had to do that too. Chicken and waffles, southern stuff, yeah.
He says some bullshit before Hustler, and then later, I don't know why he says some more bullshit.
It's just about food. He's like neck bones, chicken and gravy.
Yeah, like there's no reason for it. Like I don't know why it needs to come up. But it doesn't add anything. It's annoying. It's just like, I'm just going to skip over that shit. Who needs it?
Yeah, I remember Hustle and Set It Out were like, okay, but a little underwhelming, especially compared to what happens later.
For sure. I think Hustler is one of the weaker cuts.
Especially with how it ends.
An improvement.
Yeah.
Mainly because it's got a stronger beat.
The beat, yeah. The rhymes were underwhelming, but that beat was fucking jumping. That third verse when the crazy voice guy comes in, but it's like, it's just not enough by the time it gets to the track. Like, it felt like that was supposed to be the ba-dum-bum, but he didn't really say anything that was that, like, crazy to have it be the, no, you can't go back to the hook. It's the end of the song. It was just kind of like, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Ballin' Under Budget was a fun one. I like the cool, tense investigator beat. Kind of the growing up in the hood, descriptive details of living that life, you know what I'm saying? I thought that one was cool.
Yeah, that was the first really standout cut. Everybody's verse about balling on a budget, made sense of here's how we're saving money, here's how we're getting by, you know? But then this verse, it doesn't make sense in the context, it's just out of left field. It says, coming up the woods, all I did was run barefoot, never could comb my hair good. My hairline grew like 10-pound vines. Yeah. Between my rear and my underwear, it stood a thin brown line. Shit. Why? What does that have to do? I have shit in my underwear. What does that have to do with balling on a budget?
I think the idea is that the hair is brown going all the way down, and then the brown on his underwear stain is also... But why is it thin? Is the hair thin? I don't know.
You don't need, money to wash your fucking underwear, you know what I mean? Just wash your underwear. Just rinse them out in the fucking sink.
It needed a couple more layers to flesh that out.
Oh, no, I thought it was really good, too.
The country boys on the town with the big round wheels on the town and converted cow grills. That was the one, yeah. And ow! But again, do they say oh no? I don't think he actually says.
I think they do, don't they?
Yeah, because I remember these hooks kept messing me up because I was like, well, he says country boys in this one, but he says it in that one, and that track's in cahoots with that one. Oh Lord! So then we get Heads Up, which I want to like more, but. What is up with auto-tune Goofy's cousin at the beginning and end of this track?
I don't think I noticed or remembered that.
You don't remember? Use your head, silly.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I don't know what the point of that was.
I don't understand. That is the... if I was trying to show someone, hey, challenge what you think hip-hop could be. Give this a shot. Give this, country-infused hip-hop a shot. Let's throw on the track. Oh, wait, no, don't play that one. Use your head, Billy.
Oh.
It's like, oh no, first impression ruined.
Yeah, I could see that. The song itself is fine.
That's the thing, yeah.
If you're playing it for a friend, you sneakily fast forward a couple seconds without them noticing, and then shut it off before it happens again.
Right. Well, was this it? Oh, that's right. Oh, no, it's fine.
On and Heads Up are the two tracks I think we get remixes of at the end, too, which I don't know if we needed them. But
to varying degrees. I liked the On Nah remix, I think,
Oh, that's funny. I liked the Heads Up remix. I did not like the Ah Nah remix with Marcos of POD.
Wait, am I confusing it? Which one? No, the Heads Up remix was what I liked. Yeah, and
that was the one with like the country banjo twanging and shit.
Because like
fun.
they really committed to the bit. They got the banjos and they did like the West Coast synth in there, so it was kind of like in the because I was listening back to the other song. I was like, wait a minute, did they have that in the original? And no, in the original song where they're supposed to be a band or a rap group going for this country shit. They actually do, like the instrument they use is a lot more muted sounding than a sort of like, twangy guitar. So it's just kind of like, yeah, why didn't they do this the first time? Like, so.
The second one was it was like the rock remix.
And, I half like it. Like, it starts off feeling kind of like, all right, this is, kind of they just put the track over, they just put their vocals over, Linkin Park instrumental. But then when that guitar bit comes in, the little whining, nee, I was like, let it cook. Hold on a second. But unfortunately, when it got to the hook, it still kind of felt like that Linkin Park mashup that's not fully put on the beat together, but sounds impressive for people who haven't, early 2000s, so they haven't really heard it yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I was half there, but the organ just hits so much better, like, throughout the whole song than this does, you know what I mean? But yeah, let me see. What were the rest of the tracks in between, though? Because
we're up to Slums, which I don't...
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, let's just skip around to the ones that... Because, like, I don't have any notes on Slums, but I remember thinking Po Folks was a really good one.
I thought all of these were solid. Like, as I'm looking at them, I like the chill backwoods guitar, you know what I'm saying? All My Life Been Poe. Nappy Boy's gonna be okay. Like,
yeah, I love that.
Right, it's so that, I don't know, early 2000s black struggle movie, like Soul Food or Life, like late 90s, early 2000s, you know what I mean? So it's like, Nappy Boy's gonna be okay. It's like, that's right.
Yeah.
Like, it
I
was
love
scrappy.
the vibe of that one.
Yeah, we're missing some teeth. We got holes in our socks, but it's all right. You know what I mean?
Now, I gotta say, Started Over is the worst cut on the album.
Yeah, like, it's like an okay party song, but again, it's that sort of like, what is the... Can we cut some of these, please? Yeah,
like, this is the obligatory, hey, I'm trying to fuck song. And it's And, again, we were doing fairly well. Big V drops a homophobic slur in that one.
Now, does he? Which track was it again? Started Over?
Started Over. Him and someone else, I forget who, are having, like, this back and forth where, like, they both say a line and the other one says a line, and at one point, Big V says something like, I'd even eat a dyke, and it's like,
Oh, I missed that one.
Yeah, and it's just like, It really was just kind of thrown in there, too, of just like, you didn't even need to do that. It just came out of fucking nowhere.
Was that, was that this type of album, yeah? All right, D12.
Like, the song itself doesn't fit in. Like, this kind of, hey, I'm trying to fuck song doesn't really fit in the album, like, the energy,
There's another song that happens later that, like, I don't enjoy the subject matter with how they, like, it feels very, like, skeevy, but, like, the instrumental's really nice, so I'm like, God damn it. I'm trying to remember which one it was.
The only other one I got
I think it was the Hoedown song.
I was just gonna say, the only other song I gave a relatively low rating to was Hoedown, so I was gonna ask if that was it. Hoedown and My Ride, I also thought was pretty mid.
Let me see, My Ride. I like that. I like how it started with, again, it's not like a, fantastic ride song, it's not, I don't know, maybe it might be in the top 20, you know what I mean, riding songs, but I like the racing sound at the beginning, the little, tremoloing guitar.
I did like that,
cool. But I did like, what was that one part where, what is his name, comes in, the guy with the high voice, because he has a particular, like, enunciation that he has, because he was like, you hear someone else going like, hey, yo, that's my cab, jumping out, leaving a tab. Hold on, my man, we'll discuss that later. B jumped out like, fuck that hater. Like, The way his voice just comes in, it's just like, oh, okay. Then 140, has so I feel like up to this point the production's been pretty, relatively cool. But then this track has the charmingly ghetto synths going on in the background. You know what I mean? But again, I didn't think it was that bad of a track. You know what I'm saying? They're doing what was it? Oh yeah, because the verse I thought was really cool where he says basically saying like, hey, my dad was trying to teach me lessons even though he was an imperfect person. So he was like, never sit down when you need to stand. Never drink all your dreams and plans. Never drink down all your dreams and plans. Papa, what's that inside your glass? Don't do as I do, boy. Do as I ask. Like, that was like, oh, man. And then, see, do it right if you're going to do it fast. And don't do it if you're going to do it half-assed. And then he gets to the end, he's like, talking about his dad, like, a hustle schemer. These cops be corrupt like Rupp Arena. Try and bust my wiener with this court subpoena. Petty misdemeanors. But then at the end, he goes like, you hear someone say like, boy, you ain't worth. And then he cuts off like, yeah, like student, like teacher. And I was like, oh, damn. So I thought it was like, they're fucking doing some shit under some of these fucking verses, you know what I mean?
One thing that I wanted to point out was that they invented a word to take place of the N-word on the album.
What was it?
Yeegas.
I was hearing that and I was like, am I missing something?
Like, I saw it enough and eventually I clicked the annotation and they were like, yeah, they just replaced the N-word with this because they didn't want to say it. And it was like, oh okay. Like, that's fine.
Don't they do it sometimes? I mean...
Do they? Okay, if they do it sometimes, then that doesn't make any sense.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Wait, because on Hoedown...
No.
Yes, it says, tag team that biatch that I called my niggas over. They smashed in the lack, popped that twat like and niggas in the backseat with the freak hoe in the... Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, I don't know then. Now I'm confused. Show Liz is so fucking good. The beat on this, I don't even know how to describe it. Because I honestly don't remember how it went, but because I can't write down how a beat goes, the fucking onomatopoeia. But it was so fucking weird and out there for this album, like...
Oh, now I remember that wacky sounding beat? Yeah, I was like,
it was
what
so weird! I was like, holy shit, what is this? I love this!
Like, the producer was going bonkers in the studio that week. He was on some shit.
We're gonna decide to randomly throw this at you halfway through the album, like, oh, shit, okay, cool.
And I think Blowing Trees was another track with a, nappy headed doll, it's the life be Grand Marnier, and blowing trees. Like, a lot of these tracks are the, like, old Southern funk chilling in the back, and it's like, really dope. I just really wish that they had picked just the best of the best, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I keep having this moment where I'm like, that one's good and that one's good, and did we need both? Do we need both? Like, yeah.
Because, like, the way Shoal is, it's between... It's Started Over, which I wasn't a fan of, Blown Trees, which I thought was just kind of okay, Life's a Bitch, which I thought was just kind of okay, and My Ride, which I was just like, this is pretty mid. It wasn't until 140 where I was like, okay, I think we might be back. But even then, like, I liked that one and Dime Quarter Nickel Penny, but I wasn't a huge fan of Kentucky Mud or Hoedown.
Yeah, so, like, I think there was just, like, some of those tracks felt like it was doing the gimmick of the Southern Fried Hook thing just one too many times, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where maybe that was it. It started to feel a little gimmickfied, and like I said, maybe if they just were doing it less, it wouldn't feel that way,
Yeah, for sure. Like, just have less songs, damn.
Yeah. But Dime Quarter Nickel Penny, like when they're actually doing like a concept with something, that's always, when it's like, oh hey, I'm up, I'm awake, I'm hearing the variety, and especially the hook where it's like Dime Quarter Nickel Penny. Damn, ain't it funny how we all about the Benjis? Dime Quarter Nickel Penny. Won't you give me a dime since you got so many?
Yeah.
And then You know, oh my God, just that one verse though, homeboy was like getting in the mix. He was like, I can't knock on the Roxy Rock, hell, I might cop on them Yahtzee got. You get props on the bada shabop, let's keep it all the way, nappy when you're hot, you're hot. Like, burn up a dime, sell a nickel at the corner, throw a penny in a jukebox, there's how to order. Says,
that was so funny.
Right?
Yeah, where he throws a penny in the jukebox and it's like, oh, must be out of order because it's not working. Yeah, that's what's it.
And then when he ends it was like the dollar value gets shorter as you get older, and he goes like, wait, here, come here for a minute. Don't tell nobody I told you, but the dollar value gets shorter as you get older.
Fuck. I loved that shit. Yeah.
Oh, it's so fucking intense.
That was a really fun one.
Yeah. No, I liked Kentucky Mud. Especially how it started with the bubbling sludge at the beginning, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I thought it was like, oh, okay, we're adding a little text, adding a little character, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And I actually, like, see, that's the thing. It was like, if the hooks are good enough, I can enjoy it, you know what I mean? Like, because I remember really liking this hook. Like, I liked this hook, and then I also liked the breakdown that it went into, the Kentucky Mud, damn right, folk, got nothing but love. Like, you know what I mean? I thought it was just like, holy shit. Oh, yeah, that's right. Big truck rolled through, Yega, nothing but slums. Yeah, I didn't know what that was about.
Yeah, it was one of those, just like, what?
What the fuck is this? Attack on Titan? What's happening?
Maybe it's like contextual, where it's like, if I'm saying the N-word, I'm talking about, like, my friends, but if I'm using the other one, I'm talking about like
close
everyone else.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's the case. I don't know.
And you get the lounge with the guy, and this is like track 18. Like, I don't know why this guy comes back.
Yeah, no one needed that dude, especially this fucking late in the album.
And then Hoedown. Again, I like the live production, especially after some of the, you know, clearly, synthetic sounding beats of some of the tracks before. It just felt like, there was just slightly too much sleaze on, like, the delivery of what was happening, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah. And then, what was it? Oh, yeah, because then, what he says in this rhyme, like, I was trying to be like, is that what I think this song is about? Like, because he's like, oh yeah, he's smoking on some doja, trying to see some exposure, had the whole spot sold up, legs tied, bar done closed up. All of a sudden a man showed up, automobiles, planes, and locomotives, trained with the focus. She both ran through trained with the focus, she both ran through hunger. Tag team that biatch, then I called my niggas over. They smashed in the lag, popped that twat like a soda. And I was trying to figure out, like, wait, what? All of a sudden her man showed up. And then automobiles, planes, and locomotives, train with the focus. See, we both ran through hunger. I was like, what? And then I was like, tag team that B. I thought it was saying, like, I beat the shit out of that dude with my friend, but then he said I called my niggas over, so I was like, oh, wait, so he tag teamed the chick, then called his friend over to have sex with him, but I guess the guy who showed up, I don't know what happened to him.
He crawled away. He's gone.
They were fucking with his wife, so you know when I ain't sober, the niggas in the back seat with the freak and the Nova. It was a hoe down. Get it? She was down. What happened to that guy? Did he get beat up or something?
She was down.
Did he get hit by automobiles, planes, and locomotives?
Yeah, must have. Sure.
But yeah, let me see, what else? Oh yeah, and then the heads of
then the fucking remixes. Yeah, I didn't rate the remixes. I didn't count those in my overall tally because I don't even think I listened to them the whole way through because I fucking heard them once already. I felt good. I don't need to hear them again. Shit. Some songs will probably end up making it to my fucking Spotify liked songs playlist, you know?
That's the thing. I think it's like, if I'm just able to pluck out the best of this, I think there's definitely a whole bunch of there's a solid-ass album in this for sure, you know?
This is just a fucking lot. Overall, I got out with a 3.79. I'll fucking round that up to a 4.
You know, I'd give them that 4 as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's good.
I think there's an overwhelming amount of good music, but it is that sort of like, you could have saved this for like a EP or something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's what I get. I get this should have been a lean, 12, 13 tracks, and then like, here's 5 more for the deluxe version next year. Like, that's what should have happened,
But with that said, folks, that about wraps it up for this week's episode of the show. And if there is an album that you would like to hear us talk about on a future episode, all you gotta do is head on over to our Ko-fi. It is ko-fi.com/ slash going off. It's GOINOFF. I don't even know what you're doing there, actually.
I'm doing the slashes opening bit on the...
Oh, god damn it. Every time you do it, I'm not sure what that is. ko-fi.com/ going off. GOINOFF. Stop.
These guys smile underneath me blue.
Fuck,
Why do I sound like an old man and a baby too?
An old man, baby.
And even though I'm only 25.
Did you hear some years ago that like a study came out that like ranked the quote unquote most like talented singers based on their like vocal range? And they put Axl Rose as like one of the best vocalists because like, he has... Just stop.
Just because it's
Let's
high,
not even play around.
Yeah, like... Come on now.
Y'all know you're fucking full of shit when you say that.
The internet's trolling you. Was this put to a vote? Did Reddit get a hold of this?
Is this BuzzFeed? What is this? I don't believe this. But yeah, folks, it's so easy. It's so easy. It's so easy. It's so easy to request an album for a future episode of the show. All the cool kids are doing it. When I say that, I mean Dr. Goatman and a couple other people. But you could be in that illustrious handful of people keeping the show afloat. Don't you wanna? Of course you do. You wanna be a cool kid.
Don't let Goatman have all the fun.
No. Yeah, sure, it might look like they're the wealthy benefactor keeping this show on the board, but look, they can't carry that load by themselves. Pay no attention to the goat on the machinery, pulling the levers
with its cloven hoofs. So it's doing it a little sloppily.
Yeah. It looks like the fucking dog ending to the Silent Hill game where it's just kind of slipping on the board. They don't know what they're doing. They're a goat. But anyway, folks, thank you so much for spending your time with us today. I was going to say this evening, but that's just because we're recording in the evening. You could be listening to us anytime. You could be listening to us in the shower. You could be listening to us on the drive to work. You could be listening to us eating breakfast.
But you will never be listening to us on the same day that we recorded it, unfortunately.
Oh, it's like you can't lick your elbow.
Yeah, we just broke the illusion. Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's true. You can never see your back. It's like... it's just
never really
physically impossible.
Your back, You can see a reflection. You can never really see your back,
No.
Yeah.
It's, if we went back to the old days where I just didn't edit the episodes at all and just posted them up as fucking raw audio, then yeah, sure. There's a chance you might be able to hear the episode day of, but I haven't done that in 10 years.
Yeah, you're just going, hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. Stepping out, toilet flush.
The folks need to hear all that shit. That's the heart and soul. That's the charm.
Called raw podcasting.
That's the stuff you're not going to get anywhere else.
That's right. We're breaking the fourth wall like fucking Sanford and Son back in the day when they had the toilet flushing on the second level. We're doing it.
Oh.
That's right. Oh yeah, that's right. You didn't think the Going Off crew was going for it, did you? See ya, fourth wall.
Whenever you're listening to us, I'm glad you're setting time aside. It means a lot to us. And like I'd said, I don't even think we said this on the last episode, we've entered our 10th year of the show. We started in 2014, and here we are. Holy shit.
Wow, 2014.
God dang.
What do you, oh man, what even albums were we talking about? We were talking about like...
Oh, we were talking about Janae Aiko. We were talking about
Raekwon
Linkin
the Chef's
Park.
mixtapes.
Raekwon, Mayday. Mayday, the first episode. We were talking about goddamn Childish Gambino.
That's right.
That mixtape, that like EP he put out.
We're making jokes about Jay-Z not knowing that 9/11 is happening.
That's still one of my favorite fucking pranks. That was the goddamn first fucking episode. I laughed so fucking hard at that shit. But yeah, folks, it's a testament to your dedication, because we wouldn't do this if people weren't listening.
That's right, especially if people weren't paying us, you know.
That's true too.
Like, it really, you know, it is that thing at the end of the PBS show, you know, this show is funded by viewers like you. Like, it's like, wow, you guys want to hear our opinions. That's so nice.
It really does mean a lot. And you not only want to hear our opinions, but what's more important to me is oftentimes it's like, this is an album I want to share with the Going Off crew. Because especially like with this episode, like, as much as I enjoyed the Nomeansno album, I didn't know that even existed.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't have thought to look for that. It's not even on Spotify if I wanted to listen to it.
So can I just say, as the person who is, you know, having this show happen to me in terms of getting these requests and having to do like
sprung upon you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it is really cool to do this. I mean, like, yeah, I you know, it is hard to like actively expand, you know, what you listen to. Like, I do try to do that. I do try to listen to, you know, just like stuff that's outside of hip hop and stuff like that, just for, you know, for the sake of gracing your ears with as much music as possible before we leave this earth. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
It's just hard to get, like, I would have never looked up Nomeansno. That would have never come across to be like, I wonder what Nomeansno is doing. You know what I mean?
Like, I think there's like a handful of stuff of theirs on Spotify, but not what one of the band members would consider
on there.
Yeah, and they consider this their most popular album by, what do they say, by a country mile, and it's not on Spotify? Like, what the fuck's happening? Luckily, I think every other album going forward, though, is. So we're not going to have to do any of that YouTube shenanigans going forward. And we've got quite an array of very interesting stuff coming down the pike. So stay tuned to... I'm trying to think of a way to say ya boys. Because, like...
The crew, you know... That's what I've been trying to do. I'm trying to be more gender inclusive.
In this one instance, this one example, I'm gonna say, Going Off boys. I think that's okay.
the boys.
I'm gonna make
for the sake of
one
branding.
Exception. Every other time, please don't refer to me as a boy. But
we are collective boy. Got it.
Yes. Together we, like Voltron, like the fucking Megazord.
Like in French, whenever there's a group of people, and because it's kind of sexist, whenever there's one boy, it all just becomes male group. Yes, like that. We're going by French rules. Francois, c'est pas un flash 802 or something.
Oh, that's true. We're gonna be eating cars and eating bars, and now you're in the Man from Mars.
And you're digesting, and it's kind of like a yerk is in your brain. Anyone ever watch Animorphs? It's kind of like that.
Nope. Can't say I have. But folks, that about wraps it up. So we're gonna leave now, because I feel we've overstayed our welcome, and you've already given us so much of your time that to ask more of it, I just think that's, you know, I don't want to be greedy. So folks, stay tuned and join us again next time on Going Off. But until then, I'm Muse.
And I'm Rap Critic. And okay, Matrix, you can wake me up now. There's no way I'm gonna meme. That didn't happen. That's weird. That doesn't happen. That's weird. Why does the internet knows who I am? That's weird. 300,000 views on a thing I did 10 years ago. 10 years. 10 years. Wake me up. Someone wake me up. It's a little story for the boys and girls. Wonderland, don't believe it, yo. Animated actors that become your toys. Wonderland, don't believe it, yo.